35 Essential English Phrases for Servers and Waiters. You might think becoming a great waitress is all about speed and carrying 3 plates at once. You're wrong. It's about 35 key phrases that turn a simple order into a memorable experience. And trust me, your tips will thank you. In this video, I'm not going to teach you how to clear a table. I'm giving you the exact words that build rapport, prevent mistakes, and lead to bigger tips. This is the script every successful server uses. Theme 1. Greeting guests. The first few seconds of a guest's visit set the tone for their entire meal. Your greeting is your first chance to make a positive, lasting impression. This isn't just about words. It's about a genuine smile and welcoming body language. A confident and friendly greeting makes guests feel valued from the moment they arrive. Phrase 1. Welcome in. This simple phrase is the foundation of a warm first impression. It's an open invitation, a friendly gesture that says, "We're happy you're here." When a couple walks through the door, you don't just stand there waiting for them to speak. You approach with a confident pace, make eye contact, and say, "Welcome in," while gesturing toward the dining area that it's an act of hospitality, not a formality. You are showing them you are ready and happy to serve them. Alternatively, you could say, "Welcome to restaurant name." This adds a personal touch and reinforces the restaurant's brand. For a more casual setting, a simple "hello, come on in" can work well. The key is to match your greeting to the restaurant's atmosphere. A fine dining establishment might prefer something more formal like, "Good evening, welcome." In a relaxed cafe, a cheerful, "Hey there, welcome" is perfect, and no matter the phrase. The most important part is the sincerity behind it. Don't say it with a blank expression or while looking at the floor. Make a connection. Phrase 2. How many in your party? This question helps you determine the group size for proper seating arrangements. It's a direct and necessary question, but you can deliver it in a friendly, conversational way. As a family of 4 enters, you can ask, "How many in your party?" while holding up 4 fingers, making it a clear and friendly interaction. This simple gesture makes the question feel more like a part of the service rather than a demand for information. It shows you're ready to accommodate them and find a suitable table. You can also ask, "How many will be joining us today?" This phrase sounds a little more formal and can be used in a more upscale dining environment. Another good option is, "For how many people?" This is very direct and efficient, which is useful during a busy rush when you need to get them seated quickly. The most important thing is to avoid an abrupt or robotic tone. It should feel like a natural part of the conversation. Phrase 3. Can I show you to your table? This phrase efficiently directs guests to their seating area. It's a polite question that gives them a sense of control while you guide them. For a group of colleagues, you can step forward, make a motion toward the dining room, and say, "Can I show you to your table?" Then begin walking toward a suitable spot. It's an act of service, not just an order. For a slightly more assertive but still polite approach, you can say, "Right this way, please." This works well when you've already had a short interaction and it's clear they are ready to be seated. Another option is, "I'll lead the way." This is confident and friendly. For a larger group, you might say, "Follow me, please." No matter which phrase you choose, remember to walk at a pace that is comfortable for your guests. Don't rush ahead and leave them behind. Phrase 4. Here's your menu. Handing over the menu starts the ordering process smoothly. It's an important transitional moment where you shift from seating to service. You can place the menus on the table for a solo diner and say, "Here's your menu." Then use a subtle gesture to point out the daily specials board or a special section of the menu. This adds a helpful element to the interaction, showing that you're knowledgeable and ready to assist them. You can also say, "Here are your menus." This is a small but important grammatical distinction for a group. Another option is, "I'll leave these with you." This is a bit more formal and gives the guests space to look over the menu on their own. For an extra touch of hospitality, you could say, "I'll leave you to look over our menus. Let me know if you have any questions." This encourages them to ask for help and shows you are available. It's a simple way to build trust and demonstrate your attentiveness. Theme 2. Serving and engaging guests. This is the core of the service experience. It's where you build rapport, answer questions, and ensure your guests have everything they need. Your goal is to be attentive without being intrusive. Phrase 5. How's your day going? This small talk phrase builds a friendly rapport. It's a way to humanize the interaction and show you see them as more than just a customer. It should be one of the first things you say once you approach their table. You're starting a conversation, not just taking an order. When you approach a solo diner after they've settled in, you lean in slightly and then ask, "How's your day going?" It's a gentle, conversational opener. You want to sound genuine, not like you're reading from a script. Alternatively, you could say, "Did you have a good day so far?" This feels a little more personal. Another great option is to use a specific observation to start the conversation, like, "Looks like you picked the perfect day to come out. How are you doing?" This shows you're paying attention to the details of their visit. Avoid asking questions that are too personal or sound overly generic. The goal is to create a connection, even if it's brief. Phrase 6. Our menu features. This is the phrase you use to introduce the menu's concept and help guests navigate it. It orients them and gives a sense of the restaurant's identity. Right after handing over the menus, you might say, "Our menu features a variety of American classics and some of our chefs' unique seasonal creations." This helps them understand what to expect. This phrase is about providing a roadmap, especially for a new guest who might be unfamiliar with the cuisine or layout. You can also use this phrase to highlight the restaurant's specialties or philosophy. For a restaurant that sources locally, you could say, "Our menu is designed around fresh, locally sourced ingredients." For a restaurant with a specific style, you might say, "Our menu is a mix of traditional and modern Italian dishes, with a focus on house-made pastas." Another option is to give you an idea of the menu. It's divided into small plates, main courses, and sides. This helps guests who prefer a specific type of dining experience, such as tapas or a multi-course meal. Phrase 7. I'll take your order soon. This follows menu delivery and signals your prompt return. It's a way of telling guests that you haven't forgotten about them and that you'll be back shortly. It gives them a moment to look over the selections without feeling rushed. After giving menus to a group of friends, you can make eye contact and say, "I'll take your order soon," and then step away briefly. This gives them a sense of calm and control over their dining experience. An alternative is, "I'll be back to take your order in just a few minutes." This gives a more specific time frame, which is great for managing expectations, especially on a busy night. For a more direct approach, you could say, "I'll give you a moment to decide." This is straightforward and very polite. A simple, "I'll check on you in a bit," can also work well, especially in a more casual atmosphere. The most important part is to actually return promptly. Saying you will come back soon and then disappearing for 10 minutes can create a negative experience. Phrase 8. Are you ready to order? This checks if guests are prepared to place their order. The key is to wait for the right moment. Look for visual cues. Menus are closed, they are talking quietly, or they are looking around for a server. When you see menus are closed, you can approach a table and say, "Are you ready to order?" while holding your notepad and pen, ready to write. This nonverbal cue shows you are prepared and ready to act. You can also say, "Have you had a chance to decide?" This is a softer, more polite version that gives them a bit of an out if they haven't made up their minds yet. Another option is, "Can I take your order whenever you're ready?" This phrase puts the ball in their court and gives them a sense of control. For a large group, you could address one person and say, "Are we all ready to order?" This is a helpful way to get the group's attention and a clear signal that it's time to start. Phrase 9. Our specials today are. Sharing the specials highlights unique dishes available that day. This demonstrates your knowledge of the menu and can pique your guests' interest. You can approach a table and say, "Our specials today are," and describe each one with enthusiasm. Instead of a flat description, try to use descriptive words that make the food sound appealing. For example, instead of "We have a chicken dish and a fish," you could say, "Our first special is a pan-seared chicken with a lemon herb sauce and roasted vegetables. And our fish special is a fresh wild salmon served over a bed of jasmine rice with a light mango salsa." This detailed description makes the specials sound much more enticing. Another option is to list them and then ask, "Do any of those sound interesting to you?" This invites a conversation and helps you guide their choices. Phrase 10. I recommend our signature dish. This guides guests toward a popular or unique menu item. This is a powerful phrase because it shows confidence and expertise. It also helps you steer guests toward a dish that the kitchen is known for, which often means a high-quality meal. For an unsure diner, I say, I recommend our signature dish, and describe the chef's special pasta with a confident, encouraging tone. You can also say, I'm a big fan of our. This personalizes the recommendation and makes it feel more genuine. If they ask what's good, you can say, a lot of our guests love the. This is a low-risk recommendation that relies on social proof. To make it even better, explain why it's so good. For example, I recommend our signature steak. It's cooked to perfection and has this incredible smoky flavor. Phrase 11. Our top sellers are. This highlights popular menu items to guide guest choices. When a guest is considering a few options, you can say, our top sellers are, and mention dishes like the grilled salmon or lasagna. This gives them confidence in their choice. It's especially useful for guests who are new to the restaurant and don't know what to expect. They can feel secure knowing that many people have enjoyed these dishes. You can also say, you can't go wrong with our, or some of our most popular dishes include. These phrases build trust and can help a guest who is overwhelmed by too many choices. For example, our top sellers are the grilled salmon and the lasagna. Both are incredibly popular and get rave reviews. This provides both a choice and a reason to choose it. Phrase 12. What would you like for an appetizer? This encourages guests to start with appetizers to enhance their meal. You can approach a family and say, what would you like for an appetizer? And list a few options. This is a classic upsell that adds to the guest experience. It's also a way to get the kitchen started while the guests wait for their main course. You can also say, would you care to start with an appetizer? Or, to start, we have a great selection of appetizers. Like, another great option is to recommend an appetizer that pairs well with their main course. For example, our bruschetta is a perfect starter if you're planning on having one of our pasta dishes. This shows you're thinking ahead and providing a well-planned service. Phrase 13. Would you like a side with that? This suggests adding a side dish to complement their main course. It's a key phrase for adding value to their meal. When a guest orders a burger, you can say, would you like a side with that? And mention fries or coleslaw, adding value to their meal. This is a simple but effective way to ensure the guest's meal is complete and satisfying. You can also say, that comes with a choice of sides, or can I add a side of? For a more personal recommendation, you could say, the steak pairs wonderfully with our creamed spinach. This shows you know the menu well and are making a thoughtful suggestion, not just asking a generic question. Phrase 14. Can I suggest a refreshing drink? This recommends a beverage to complement their meal. As you take their food order, you can say, can I suggest a refreshing drink? And offer something like iced tea or a specific cocktail that pairs well with their food. This is another opportunity to enhance their experience and increase the check total. You can also say, would you like to try one of our specialty cocktails? Or, we have some great non-alcoholic options, like our freshly squeezed lemonade. This shows you're thinking about a variety of preferences and not just pushing a specific item. A great way to sell a drink is to pair it with a specific dish. For example, our spicy tacos go perfectly with a cold beer. Phrase 15. This dish is quite filling, or it's a lighter option. It's crucial to manage expectations about portion size. If someone orders a large entree, you might say, this dish is quite filling, to inform their decision and prevent food waste. It shows you are looking out for them. But what if the dish is on the smaller side? You need to describe its character positively. For a lighter meal, you can say, this is a lighter option, but it's packed with flavor from the fresh herbs. This frames the small size as a benefit. If it's meant to be shared, you could say, it's a small plate, perfect for sharing among the table. By being descriptive, you guide your guests and show your expertise. Other phrases include, this is a delicate portion, or it's designed to be a light starter. Phrase 16. It's a flavorful dish with fresh ingredients. Describing the food's taste and quality is where you shine as a server. The key is to use rich, sensory language. Instead of just saying it's good, be more specific. For a curious diner, you might start with a classic like, it's a flavorful dish with fresh ingredients, and then elaborate. You can use phrases that appeal to different senses. For example, to describe a creamy pasta, you could say, this dish has a rich, velvety sauce that's incredibly comforting. To describe a steak, you might say, the steak is seared to perfection with a deep, smoky flavor. Or for a vibrant salad, you could say, it's a crisp and refreshing mix of greens, perfect for a warm day. Using these words helps a guest visualize and taste the dish before they even order it. Phrase 17. Any allergies I should know about? This is a crucial safety phrase. Before confirming a group's choices, you can ask with a serious and attentive tone, "Any allergies I should know about?" and wait for their response. You can also ask, "Does anyone dining with us today have any allergies or dietary restrictions?" This is a more formal and comprehensive way of asking. The key is to be clear and direct. Don't assume anything. Phrase 18. I'll get your order started. This confirms the order is being processed, reassuring guests. After taking a table's choices, you can say, "I'll get your order started," and head to the kitchen, showing immediate action. This simple phrase lets them know you've heard them and are taking action. Another option is, "Your order is in, and the kitchen will have it out for you soon." Phrase 19, and this is your. This is a crucial phrase for when you're serving the food. It confirms that the guest is receiving the correct meal, which is especially important for groups or tables with similar orders. As you place the plate in front of the guest, you should say something like, "And this is your chicken parmesan," or "Here is the grilled salmon." This simple act prevents confusion and shows that you know who ordered what. For a group that has ordered steaks, this is especially important. When you bring out 2 or 3 steaks, you likely won't know which one is rare, which is medium, and which is well done. Instead of guessing, you should ask, "Who gets the steak?" Once the guest responds, you can then ask a follow-up question to confirm the temperature. "And was that the medium rare?" Once they confirm, you can confidently place the dish in front of them and say, "And here is the steak, cooked to your specification." This shows an extra level of attentiveness and ensures a smooth, professional service. Phrase 20. Enjoy your meal. This wishes guests well as their food arrives. As you set down plates, you can say, "Enjoy your meal," and step back, giving them space to begin. It's a classic and essential courtesy. You can also say, "Hope you enjoy it," or "Bon appetit." Phrase 21. Is everything to your liking? This mid-meal check-in is a key moment to ensure satisfaction. It shows attentiveness and gives you an opportunity to fix any problems before they escalate. You can approach a guest who has been eating for a few minutes, making subtle eye contact, and say, "Is everything to your liking?" You can also say, "How is everything tasting so far?" Phrase 22. Are you all set here? This is a versatile phrase used to check if guests have everything they need at that moment. It's a quick, efficient way to ask if they are satisfied and if they need anything else. You might use this right after they've taken a few bites of their meal or when you notice they're getting low on a drink. It's a subtle way to check in and show you're still attentive. It can also be a gentle way to check if they're ready for the next step. For example, after clearing their plates, you could ask, "Are you all set here?" as a way to transition to offering dessert. Phrase 23. Can I get you anything else? This is a key phrase to offer refills or additional items. After a brief check-in, you can ask, "Can I get you anything else?" This is where you can suggest more drinks or see if they need anything else. This phrase shows you're still attentive and ready to provide more service. Phrase 24. Would you like dessert? This introduces dessert options and helps guests complete their meal. After clearing the main plates, you can ask a table, "Would you like dessert?" and present the menu to them. This feels like a natural part of the meal, not a final step before payment. You can also say, "I'll be back in a moment with the dessert menu," which is a polite way to signal the next step. Theme 3. Presenting and handling the check. This theme now focuses specifically on the final transactions. It's about being efficient, professional, and making the end of the meal as smooth as possible. Phrase 25. Whenever you're ready, I can bring the check. This phrase politely signals the end of the dining experience without rushing the guests. Once they've finished their meal, you can say, "Whenever you're ready, I can bring the check," which gives them control over the timing. This is much better than asking, "Are you ready for the check?" which can sound pushy. You can also say, "I can get that for you whenever you are ready," or "Just let me know when you'd like the check." These are all polite ways to communicate that you're ready to complete the transaction without making them feel rushed. Phrase 26. I'll get that for you right away. This confirms that the guest's request for the check is being handled promptly. When a guest asks for the bill, you can respond, "I'll get that for you right away," and immediately head to the register. This is a great way to manage expectations and show that you are efficient. It reassures them that you are taking care of their request immediately. Phrase 27. Here's your check. This is the direct delivery of the bill. You can place the bill down on the table, face down, and say, "Here's your check," with a friendly smile, ready to assist with payment. You can also say, "Here you are," as you place the bill down, which is simple and polite. The act of placing it down face down is a small but important gesture that gives them privacy to look at the bill. Phrase 28. Would you like to split the bill? This offers to divide the payment for group convenience. For a group of friends, I can say, "Would you like to split the bill?" showing that it's no trouble at all. You can also say, "Will this be on one check or separate?" This is a very common and efficient way to ask. It's always best to ask this question proactively rather than waiting for them to ask. It shows you're anticipating their needs. Phrase 29. Cash or card? This question clarifies the payment method for efficiency. After you've presented the check and the customer has looked it over, you can approach the table with your card reader or ready your cash drawer. You would then proactively ask, "Will that be cash or card?" This helps you know how to process their payment and avoid fumbling with the wrong machine. For a slightly more formal approach, you can ask, "How will you be paying today?" This gives the customer a chance to mention multiple payment types, like cash and a gift card. The key is to be ready with the right equipment and to process the payment as quickly and smoothly as possible. Theme 4. Concluding the dining experience. The final moments are just as important as the first. A strong farewell leaves a lasting good impression, encouraging them to return. Phrase 30. How was everything? This is a final check to ensure their experience was positive. As guests get up to leave, you can walk by and say, "How was everything?" It's a last chance to get feedback and show you care. You can also say, "Did you enjoy your meal?" Or "Was everything to your satisfaction?" This shows you value their opinion and that their experience matters. Phrase 31. Thank you for dining with us. This expresses gratitude for their visit. As guests walk out the door, you can make eye contact and say, "Thank you for dining with us," with a warm, genuine tone. This is a simple but powerful phrase that expresses your appreciation for their business. You can also say, "Thanks so much for coming in." Phrase 32. We appreciate your visit. This conveys appreciation, encouraging future visits. As the guest exits, you can say, "We appreciate your visit," and nod, showing your sincerity. This phrase adds a bit of warmth and makes them feel like their choice to dine at your restaurant was a good one. It's a great way to build brand loyalty. Phrase 33. Have a great day. This positive farewell leaves a lasting good impression. You can say, "Have a great day," to departing guests, wishing them well as they go on their way. This is a very common and friendly way to end the interaction. You can also say, "Have a great evening," depending on the time of day. Phrase 34. It was a pleasure serving you. This closes the experience with a personal touch. You can say, "It was a pleasure serving you," to the departing guests, leaving them with a positive, memorable impression of their service. You can also say, "It was great having you here." This is a final, personal touch that can make a big difference in how they remember their visit. Bonus phrase. These phrases are for the difficult but common situations like when a table has been seated for a long time and you have other customers waiting or the restaurant is past its closing time. It's about being firm but professional and prioritizing your business's needs without making the guest feel unwelcome. Phrase 35. Just a gentle heads up, we'll be closing in about 15 minutes. This is the most polite and direct way to signal that it's time for guests to finish up. The phrase "just a gentle heads up" softens the message, and providing a specific time frame gives them a clear, non-negotiable end to their visit. For example, you can say, "I just wanted to give you a gentle heads up. We'll be closing in about 15 minutes, but please take your time to finish up your drinks." You can change 15 minutes with a real time, like 10 minutes, 20 minutes, or 30 minutes, based on when you're closing. If you have a line of customers waiting, you can be slightly more direct while still being apologetic. For example, you can say, "I'm so sorry to rush you, but we do have a few guests waiting for a table. I can bring your check over whenever you're ready." This frames the request as a necessity to serve other guests, not as an inconvenience to you personally. In either scenario, You should avoid phrases like, you have to leave now, or simply standing by their table with a check in your hand, as this can be aggressive and unprofessional. Now you know the secret that every professional server uses to stand out. It's not about how fast you walk, but the words you choose. Start practicing these 35 phrases and watch your confidence and your paycheck grow. Thanks for watching, and check out my next video for more tips to boost your English. Remember, speaking English is a piece of cake.